and welcome to Supposedly Fun. My name is Greg.
I'm Joel.
And we are kind of matching a little bit with our shirts today. Just a little bit of yellow as a theme. We are filming this on New Year's Day, which means...
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And that means it's officially time for our best books of 2025 list. We're here with Teddy. He's being a little antsy, so I don't know if he's going to stick around, but we're going to try. I am wearing my Happy Reading t-shirt because that's what I wish for everybody in the new year. And you're just...
I'm just trying to look cute.
It's working. And Joel made us some cocktails to celebrate the new year. Slancha. And to celebrate our favorite books. What are they?
The cocktails?
Yeah.
They are a old-fashioned made with orange Jameson di Sorrento, some muddled up orange and cherry, and then poured over ice cubed, and there's a little orange slice and cherry in there.
And there it is.
So it's kind of the old-fashioned that we kind of like.
Yes. All right. So should we not tease people any longer and start getting into it?
Let's do this.
So
we have a lot to talk about.
We have a lot to talk about. I have a top 10, you have a top 10, and then I think, because I really didn't read a lot of nonfiction this year, it didn't seem like it would make sense for us to do a specific video about nonfiction this year. So before we get into the top 10 with fiction, I will throw out 2 shout outs to nonfiction, and you have a couple?
And I have 2 that I like.
Okay. So mine are Endurance by Alfred Lansing and Memorial by Geraldine Brooks. And what are yours?
I have Endurance, which is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes.
The next one that I have is Kitchen Confidential, which is still one of my favorites.
Yeah, very good book.
Anthony Bourdain book.
Yeah.
2 new ones that I did is Love and Whiskey. Speaking of our whiskey,
There you go.
we have a little Jameson here, but it's about Jack Daniel's distiller, Uncle Nearest.
Mm-hmm.
So that was a good one. And then my final one...
He's got a complicated spreadsheet.
I have a very complicated spreadsheet. 32 Yolks by Eric Ripert.
Oh, I really need to catch up to that.
Yeah, it's a very good book. It's a great book of Eric's journey through basically leaving home and going through culinary school and the kitchens before he comes to the United States. It's a beautiful book.
And great pairing with Kitchen Confidential. I think he wants to go down. He's like sliding off of my lap slowly. So we're going to let it go. All right, and then I had never read Endurance. You have been recommending Endurance to me as long as we have known each other. So since 2010.
He's finally listening to me.
I finally read it, and it was great. It is a top tier nonfiction. It absolutely wonderful.
It is a great story of
Survival against the odds,
and just enduring everything that comes towards you.
Yeah.
So maybe in 2026 we can all endure what we can and go ahead and just do this and make it the best.
They do teamwork, they collaborate in order to survive. So let's do that in 2026 as well.
Okay.
All right. Should we get into fiction?
Let's do fiction.
Okay.
I love it.
So these are books that we read for the first time in 2025. It doesn't have to be from 2025. And if we did a reread, it doesn't really count for this list. No. So those are the qualifications.
Yep.
Do you want to go first or second?
I will go first.
And here's a little bit of a teaser. Joel started reconsidering his top 3 right before we filmed. And I wanted to give him time to think about it, and he said, let's just start filming and I'll decide when we get to after we do our 4th pick.
So after number 4, it's just gonna what hits me is gonna be my top 3.
Yeah, which is exciting. Yeah. So all right, what's your 10th place book?
And I really enjoyed this one. I've enjoyed the series, and so is Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. It's part of the Hunger Games series, and it follows Hamish on the 25th Hunger Games.
Yeah.
And it kind of gives you the backstory of Hamish, who is played by
Woody Harrelson.
And you understand why he was the way he was. It's a very dark, twisted book. I think it's one of the best ones I've read out of the series.
Wow, that's impressive.
And I really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
So
nice. I need to catch up to it. I think I have like 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks left on my hold list for the audio on Libby.
Cool.
So,
and instead of going deep dive into descriptions, we're kind of giving you little kind of blurbs that kind of tease you to look into
Yes.
it if it's something you want to do.
Yeah, because Lord knows I can ramble, and that makes the videos really long. So we're trying not to do that. I wrote out quick blurbs and what I liked about each one.
Cool.
So did you have something specific?
Oh
for
no,
that?
just mine was just follows the Hunger Games.
Okay.
So
In 10th place for me is Forbidden Notebook by Alphabetically and translated by Anne Goldstein. This is something I had been wanting to read for a while, and when we were in New York in June and July, we went to McNally Jackson and they had a copy, so I had never seen it in a bookstore, so I grabbed it, and I'm so glad I did. Now, I'm already rambling and getting off my list, so I'm going to do better. Here's the description that I wrote down. An Italian housewife in post-war Rome buys a notebook and starts a diary, leading to her to question how satisfied she is with her life. And what I liked, it's a very feminist book. It's a very uncompromising book. And I really look forward to reading other books of Alphabetically that have been translated into English. So, phenomenal book.
awesome.
Yeah. All right. 9.
9. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey. I really did enjoy this book, and I think I enjoyed the audio of it as well,
Yeah.
because one of the characters just had this perfect deep voice, and I loved it.
Very gruff and sexy.
So my little blurb on it is: a family on a remote island, a mysterious woman washes up on the shore, and a storm is coming.
Uh-oh. Danger.
Danger. It is a big teaser of a book. That's why I think you didn't care for it. It teases you a lot about what's happening,
Yes.
and they don't quite get there.
And I don't really like that. And I was also in the wrong headspace for a book to be going like all in on mysterious things happening, but being very clear, like, we're not going to tell you what's happening right now. So I
would love for you to give it another try when things calm down.
Yeah, I agree. When I'm not like, or anything like that.
Okay, what do you got?
Number 9 for me is The Blackwater Lightship by Colm Tobin. Here's what I have. A woman discovers her brother is dying of AIDS, so she gathers her estranged mother and grandmother to be with him at the end, alongside his gay friends who know how to care for him. What I liked about it is it's got family versus found family. It's a story about a complicated family. You know I love that. And it's kind of generational trauma-ish, because the issues that the grandmother and the mother had sort of carry into the next generation. I just found this endlessly fascinating. So this was my first Colm Tobin book. I have since read 2 more, and I look forward to a lot more. This is a beautiful, beautiful book. It was shortlisted for the Booker Prize when it came out, I want to say in the late 90s. So, beautiful.
I read 2 Colm Tobin books this year, and I really want to get on that one.
Yeah, and the film adaptation, it was done for TV, is on the Hallmark Channel. So
Do we have that?
We haven't
channel?
said.
Do we have that?
We might.
We might.
We might. So,
Number 8.
number 8. 8 is great.
8. The Museum of Ordinary People by Mike Gale.
Cute book.
Very cute book. I love this. How a set of encyclopedias leaves a woman to a curious museum and a life lesson. Every life is an extraordinary life.
Which I love. I love that message.
It really is a book of what's important to you should be important, because it's what kind of defines you.
Yeah.
And I just thought this was a great book.
Yeah.
He was a new author to both of us.
Yes.
He's kind of listed to be in the realm of Matt Cain.
Yeah.
And Ryan Love. And I'm glad I found him. He is really good.
Cozy vibes, basically. And yeah, it's just about how you don't have to be a celebrity or famous for your life to have mattered, and for the impact that you've had on other people to matter. So it's beautiful.
You matter.
You matter.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right, my number 8 is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. We love Abby.
We love Abby.
We love Abby. And basically, in the 2 years that we have been aware of Abby Jimenez, one of her books has appeared in my top 10 every year since then. Here's what I have. A man and woman have the perfect first date, but she moves out of state the next day, leaving them balancing a long-distance relationship as both are tied to their location. What I liked about it, it's a perfect balance of cinnamon bun and serious life issues. There are well-drawn characters with off-the-charts chemistry. Those are like staples of Abby Jimenez books. So, yeah, it's such a good book. It made me cry. I think it made you cry.
Yes.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I can't wait for her next book, which is coming out in March. Stay tuned for my upcoming books from 2026. Anyway, I'm plugging that. All right, number 7.
Number 7, King of Ashes by S.A. Cosby. I love a good S.A. Cosby.
Yeah.
He's very twisted and dark, and all of his books that I've read have been very good. This one is, in this dark, propulsive crime fiction, it shows that family is important and everything burns.
Oh.
I like this because it does deal with family and standing up for your family, even though they're kind of maybe in the wrong or not always there. It's funny, I'm dealing with my brothers right now, and I know both my brothers would totally be there.
Yeah, I think they would.
If I needed them.
Yeah.
And that's what I loved about this book, is this brother comes home and helps his brother who's in trouble. And it's just a great, twisted, dark story, but it's still a good one.
Yeah. And I've only read Razorblade Tears, but I need to catch up to a bunch of his other ones.
Yeah.
So, all right. My number 7 is The Correspondent by Virginia Evans. Here's what I said. The life of Sybil Van Antwerp is told through her correspondence, mostly letters, but also emails. She seems prickly at first, but there's a lot more to Sybil Van Antwerp. What I liked. Favorite character of the year, absolutely. Sybil Van Antwerp.
She's great.
I love her.
Yeah.
I love her.
I like saying her name.
It's fun, too. I always say the full name because I can't just call her Sybil. It's also about the good that we can do in life and the effects that Sybil Van Antwerp has on other people. And I can't really get into it without spoiling anything about the book, but it's just really beautiful. I'm so glad that this book has become a word-of-mouth sensation. It absolutely deserves it. Yeah, so, number 6.
Number 6 is The Correspondence by Virginia Evans. What I liked about this book is I still like to send cards. I like to give somebody a written note.
Yeah.
I want it to be in my sloppy handwriting, but knowing how much I care about you. Yeah. And that's what Sybil does in most of her life, is she corresponds with people.
Yeah.
Because it's important.
Yeah.
And I just love the communication and the care that she put into it. Even if it's an email, it's still kind of your words right there.
Yeah.
But I love to send cards.
Yes. And we send birthday cards, and people will always tell us, like, it's so nice that you still send cards.
And we got to keep the United States Post Office in business.
Yes, we do. So we're doing our part.
Yes, we are.
So,
all right.
Anything else from you about The Correspondence?
No, it's just a beautiful book.
Okay.
Just great.
So my number 6 is, this is going to surprise a lot of you, I'm sure. My number 6 is Blackwood's Blue Sky by Eowyn Ivey. For most of the year, this was my number 1 book of the year. And I know I'm rambling and getting off script a little bit, but I feel like this deserves a comment because we read this in early February. So for, again, most of the year. And in December, I started really thinking about the books in my top 10. And I think when it comes to Eowyn Ivey, I'm still thinking about The Snow Child, which kind of overtakes Blackwood's Blue Sky. And that's not fair, but it's true. And I think the books that have come in above it are books that I really like because they're written well and they say something intelligent, but they have also had a really profound emotional impact on me. And that's how they kind of got ahead. But it was surprising to me that I ended up knocking this bet down to 6 as well. Anyway, here's what I wrote about it. A woman befriends and then romances a mysterious loner and takes her daughter into the woods to live with him. It uses Eowyn Ivey's trademark blend of realism and fairy tale storylines, which is absolutely beautiful. She's a gorgeous writer. What I liked, you can really feel how much Eowyn Ivey loves fairy tales in the way that she honors them in both The Snow Child and in this book. But you can also tell how she understands the dangers that lie within and how some of the messaging that they send can be inaccurate. And There's gorgeous storytelling. It's also about the weight of trauma. It's about characters who are very independent, especially the woman who moves her daughter into the woods. And it's also a little bit about forgiveness, which is really beautiful.
Yeah.
So, Blackwoods Blue Sky by
Fantastic.
Eowyn Ivy.
Where are we? Oh,
We are coming into number 5.
We're at the halfway
Yeah.
point.
Wow, we are moving quickly this year.
We are at the halfway point, so my top 5.
Yeah.
My Friends by Frederick Bachman.
Yeah.
If you've never read a Frederick Bachman book, read one.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is, read one.
I've only read A Man Called Uwe,
Yeah.
and I really want to read
That's
more.
a good
This will
one.
be my next Bachman. For sure.
He's just a brilliant writer. He's funny, he's sarcastic, he has everything.
Yeah.
This is my description of it. Captures the messy essence of being a human. A moving tale of 4 strangers that are bonded together and how they change the lives of another person 25 years later.
That sounds like something I would love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are dealing with 4 friends and the troubles they go through, how they help each other. They're kind of, these 4 are a chosen family. And then in the present day, there's somebody who's really struggling. And there's kind of 2 in the modern day struggling of really hard. And how these 4 teenagers helped this person struggle. It's a gorgeous book.
And-
It's just the friendship, the love, and everything in a chosen family pulled together in this book, and I just loved it.
Yeah. And I know a lot of other people have mentioned that they loved it. Someone from chapter 1 included it in their top 10 of the year. So
Yeah.
I need to catch up to it.
Yeah. So anything by Frederick Bachman.
Yeah. All right.
5.
My number 5, Signal Fires by Danny Shapiro. Here's what I wrote. Moving fluidly back and forth in time, 2 families living across the street from each other are struggling in different ways. As they intersect and separate, each character searches for love, acceptance, connection, forgiveness, and understanding. What I liked about it, there's truly gorgeous themes of community, which I really love. There's staggering writing skill to pull this off, because this is a book that, between the time jumps and the different families and balancing all of that stuff, it's really incredible that Danny Shapiro is able to pull off this story. This is also a book that was recommended to me by a bookseller at Books on the Common in Connecticut, because I told her that I love books that are very empathetic, and I used Barbara Kingsolver as an example, and the very first thing she said is, well, have you read Signal Fires? So, and she just absolutely knocked it out of the park with this. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and I love it. So, that's
A little side note on that. Because we do like to send cards and letters and notes.
Oh, yeah.
You sent a follow-up thank you to the person who sold that to you in the store.
Yeah.
And I think going forward in the way things are, giving people encouragement and credit and building them up,
Yeah.
I think is an important thing to do.
Yeah.
So
I think so. And
I
that
love
comes
that.
out in the book as well, because one of the characters is a little boy. His father doesn't really understand him, but the man who lives across the street does. So he kind of, he encourages him. He lifts him up. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. I love it. And I want to read a lot more Danny Shapiro. All right, so we're into our top 4, so it's getting to be crunch time for you.
Well, number 4 is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez.
Oh.
It's a sweet novel of finding the perfect soulmate and family crisis in need of you.
Yeah.
Separated by miles, it's a funny, caring book of family and love, finding love. I love this book because the woman has to choose a possible soulmate or caring for a mother, and family came first.
Yeah.
But it came at a really hard expense for her. And I just love how Abby brings a lot of humor and banter and just all this goodness in sad times.
Yeah.
And it was just such a great. It's probably one of my favorite books of hers.
I think it is. It might be my favorite Abby Jimenez book. Part of me will always have Just for the Summer in my heart because it was my first.
She was
but
the first.
I think this one might outdo it.
Part of the description is the woman has to go home, take care of her mother who has Alzheimer's. And it's a very difficult situation.
Yes.
And the family kind of comes together, but there's conflict within the family. And yet this possible soulmate, thousands of miles away, wants to try to continue a relationship.
Yes.
And she says, just forget me.
Yeah.
It's really an incredible story.
It is.
Of finding happiness on both sides. And I just...
Yeah.
And the male character in this book is just like the best next to you.
And I said he reminded me of Joel when I first read it.
Yeah.
He, I think, is Abby Jimenez's best male protagonist.
Yeah.
And it's so beautiful because what I really love about Abby Jimenez, and what I think you love as well, is that she writes great romances. They have, like, the epic first date that they go on is hilarious and wonderful. It's so good. But then she also writes books about people who are dealing with very serious problems in their life. Like, it's a mother with Alzheimer's in this book, but also the man has problems with his family and their lack of approval for him. And in other books, there's like someone who has a brother who is in kidney failure. Like, they struggle with real things. And she balances that so beautifully. Like, these aren't just books that are about romance, they're also about life and meeting the moment. And this family kind of struggles because the stress and anxiety of taking care of this woman with Alzheimer's, it's hard. And alternately, people get frustrated and have like a breakdown about it, and then everybody else kind of lifts them up. So it goes back to what we were saying, we hope for the new year. And it is a beautiful, beautiful book. So,
Okay.
All right, number 4 for me, 4 squares. So number 4 squares. I like how that worked out, actually. I didn't do that because of that, but
I caught that today when we were reviewing.
By Bobby Finger.
Great book. I loved it. It did not make my top 10, but I love this book.
Yeah, because I think we did compare notes on our top 10 beforehand, and when I mentioned that it was at number 4, you did have a moment of questioning whether or not it should have been in your top 10. But anyway, here's what I wrote. We meet Artie Anderson on his 30th birthday, facing a future with his friends/chosen family and meeting a man in a bar. We then meet him on his 60th birthday, battle-scarred from life and trying to find his footing. The story moves back and forth to show how he got here and where Artie might go on in the future. What I liked about it: incredibly poignant themes of love, acceptance, grief, found family, and finding ways to keep the people you love with you. And I think that pretty much sums it up all right there. But I think another thing I didn't write here, but what I would like to say about this is, so the correspondent had my favorite character of the year, but I think there are more scenes in this book that live rent-free in my head and my heart than any other book in my top 10. I will always be thinking about a scene where Artie and another woman are talking and realize that they had been in the same place like 30 years earlier. And she says to him, "Can you believe that? We were in the same room and we didn't even know it." And it's just like beautiful moments like that. And I will never stop thinking about the scene where he notices paintings in someone's apartment and the man tells him the story behind those paintings. I could go on. I'm going to stop. But like, incredible moments in this book. So
the paintings in the apartment is probably one of my favorite scenes.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I didn't own a copy of this book when I read it, but I wanted. I tracked one down because I knew I needed it on my shelves. All right, so crunch time.
Well, okay, so this may be silly, but I got very emotional when you were reading about that. I'm approaching my 60th birthday next month.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, and when he was talking about it, and I kind of flashed back to my 30th birthday, it is really night and day of who I am. And now I understand the character in the book is what 30 years growth can do for somebody. And I don't know, it's just, I think that's one reason why I like that book so much.
Yeah, it's really...
because they have that feeling of who you were and who you are.
Yeah, and his life at 60 is very different from his life at 30. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, well, number 3. So I'm going to say my top 3 are all pretty equal, but I'll explain why I'm putting them in the order. My top 3, number 3 for me is a book I loved. And let's just say it gave me lesbian astronaut vibes because it is Atmosphere.
Yeah.
By Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just love this book because the relationship between the two women throughout the book, and as friends, as lovers, and when you come down to it and you have to kind of choose a difficult decision between two things and you choose love, the emotion that went through me while reading this was like off the charts.
Yeah.
It was so emotional.
Yeah.
And beautifully written, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of other people say that they loved it a lot too. So I need another one I need to catch up to in 2026.
And I will say David Bowie's Space Oddity will never be the same to me again.
Really?
Oh, God.
Oh, and I love that song.
I know, it's a great song, but you listen to it differently. And the other day, I actually teared up listening to it.
Oh, wow. And it is amazing when a book can do that
Yeah.
to you. So, all right. My number 3, I keep checking my list to make sure, but I did put the pile of books in order. My number 3, and I should say I also really struggled with my top 6 or 7, everything from Blackwood's Blue Sky on down. Number 3 is The Dutch House by Ann Patchett, which also I think might have my favorite book cover of the year. Okay, here's what I wrote. A brother and sister are cast out of the home they love after the death of their father. Over the ensuing decades, the siblings alternately repel and mostly depend on each other as they try in different ways to either let go of or cling to the past. What I loved, there's an absolutely great sibling dynamic that reminds me of my own sister who had to sacrifice a lot of her own early life to take care of me and our younger sister. I also really loved subtle but incisive writing from Ann Patchett. I think that's a specialty. I think a lot of people don't give her enough credit for the talent and skill that goes into these books because she makes it so effortless. And it's absolutely beautiful. So I love this book with my whole heart and can't wait to read more Ann Patchett. She has a book coming out in 2026 as well.
I am reading The Dutch House now, but I'm just really early into it.
Yeah.
So
And Tom Hanks narrates the audiobook.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's fun.
He's fun. So, all right, number 2.
Number 2, I am going to do it. I am going to go with number 2 is Blackwood's Blue Skies. And
I'll hold it.
okay. And my little take on it is it's about family, acceptance, and love told via the story of Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
The book really deals with acceptance of people that are different, chosen family, and the little girl in here loves the man who comes into her life. And even with everything that has gone wrong, she still sees that man and loves that man.
Yeah.
And the ending of this book is so beautiful.
It is. It really is.
It's a little devastating.
Yeah, it can be.
It's just gorgeous.
Yes.
And
it is.
Snow Child stuck with me. This stuck with me.
Yeah.
And I've read another book of A.O.N. Ivy's that stuck with me. All her books, and we're not really mystical realism guys,
No.
but these books stuck with us both. And they're just beautiful stories.
Yeah.
And she is a great writer who can really bring the Alaskan outback to life.
The nature writing is incredible.
Yeah, it's just so gorgeous.
Yeah.
Beautiful book. I highly recommend
It is. I part of me feels bad. I kind of feel like this book got shafted by both of us a little bit because it was our number 1 book.
Yeah.
It was your number 1 book this morning. That I will say that. Like that this is part of the change. So,
and I will explain when I go to number 1 next why this kind of got beat.
and I know there have been people who have read this and not quite gotten along with it. I think the fact that she infuses those fairy tale elements and the sort of magical elements how you respond to her books will depend on how you accept that. I am somebody who usually struggles with it. I don't have a problem with it in her writing. And I think it's because she's so grounded in realism that you almost don't notice that magic things are happening.
And I kind of think if you also take it as more of a metaphor of what the realism in here is, of something else helps the book go.
Yeah.
Because I think I kind of took that in this one.
Yeah.
Not who he was, but who he is inside.
Yeah. It's true. It's kind of like, it is kind of like a fable. She's using the Beauty and the Beast, like a twist on the Beauty and the Beast story, to talk about these larger themes of family, forgiveness, and trauma, and all of those things. And I think that's what is so beautiful about her books, to me.
Very excited for her next book.
I hope she writes it. And we met her very briefly. Before we had ever read one of her books, she also really seems like a genuinely nice person.
She's very nice.
Yeah.
And
great Instagram follow.
We actually saw her communicate with a friend of ours.
Yeah.
And we just kind of stood back and watched, and she's just so nice.
She is. Yeah. So you can't go wrong with Eowyn Ivy.
If we would have known who she was when we saw her,
Yeah.
it could have been a little fanboy.
If I had read The Snow Child before we met her, I would have levitated and shot fireworks out of my mouth, flying around and just dazzled, and she would have been like, oh my God.
You would have your first restraining order.
I would have my first restraining order.
All right.
All right. My number 2. I really, even when I started shifting things around, I think when I started shifting things around, I knew what the top 2 were going to be. I really struggled picking 2 and 1. And even now, I feel conflicted about which one is 2, which one is 1. They're kind of interchangeable. Like, it's basically a tie. Can I just call it a tie and talk about one book first? Oh, that's not fair.
Okay, I'll let you, because mine really are
very close.
Just 1 and 1.2.
Like, even now, I'm like conflicted. I'm looking at both of the books on the desk in front of us, and I'm like, I genuinely don't know.
That has a pretty cover.
So make that number 1.
It's how I choose my wine.
That's the only way I know to choose wine.
No, let's go. I think.
All right, so
the way you told me about both of them.
I'm gonna stick with the order that I had on the list, but just know it's completely interchangeable for me.
It's like Bake Off. We're splitting hairs here.
We really are. And these books are very different. Similar in a lot of ways, but very different. So I'm going to say number 2 is The Imagined Life by Andrew Porter. But I feel bad about it. Here's what I wrote. After separating from his wife and leaving his job, a man decides he needs to come to terms with what happened the summer his family fractured, when his father became increasingly paranoid and unstable, and after being rejected for tenure, disappeared from his life. Traveling to have conversations with people who knew his father then, he confronts deeply rooted trauma, the knowability of one's parents, and wonders if he's doomed to repeat the mistakes of his father. What I liked. The plot may sound dramatic, but it's handled with the utmost care, subtlety, and restraint. Andrew Porter is an incredibly talented writer with deep insight and instinct for plotting. His work reminded me of John Cheever, which is a very high compliment from me. And like Danny Shapiro, I am so looking forward to reading more of his work in the future. And we'll leave it at that. But such a good book. I wish more people would discover this book and discover his writing. I have 2 books of his that I need to get to, and I can't wait. So definitely, if you haven't read Andrew Porter, make 2026 the year you try one of his books, because you cannot go wrong with that. All right. So what is your number 1? Teddy is standing in front of me. So
yeah, he's done here. He's buddying up for a little bit. Come on, Ted.
Come on, buddy.
We're at number 1.
You're joining us for the big reveal. Mwah.
All right. My number 1 book is why I loved it. Because it deals with family. It deals with chosen family. It deals with women helping women and supporting women through thick and thin, good times and bad times. And it deals with food. My number 1 book is The Kitchen Front by Jennifer Ryan. Yeah. This is a just beautiful book. It's a little bit of cross of Lessons in Chemistry with Mrs. Quinn's Rise to Fame.
Yeah.
You have the charmingness of Mrs. Quinn. You have the science of how to cook with food rations. The book takes place in World War II, and they're having a contest to get a female voice on the radio for a cooking show. But to do this, they have the contest to do a appetizer, main dish, and dessert using the rations of the war ration.
Which sounds fascinating.
So you do get a little bit more sugar than normal so you can make your jam. You get very few eggs, little milk, and you have to figure out how to use these or forage to make a complete dinner. And some of the meals that these women came up with were just truly phenomenal. And it's like, I never would have thought of half of this.
And we love a book that incorporates food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it follows 4 women who are in this cooking. A woman who lost her husband in the war and is struggling just to make ends meet. She has no roof on her house. Half of her bedrooms are moldy and black mold and just ruined. And she's forced to take in a pregnant woman because she's an unwed woman having a baby, so she's being shunned by everybody. She's fighting with her sister, who is filthy rich and has the best of everything and doesn't give her any break.
Oh.
And then another woman who is a servant and has been a servant all her life, and winning this competition would help her get up in the front. She has a mentor who's helping her, and the relationship between the mentor and the mentee is just beautiful. And then at a point, the women need to come together, and even though they're competitors, they come together as friends. And this book really just struck me hard.
Yeah.
Of having to deal with food rations and not having everything that we take for granted. And what you can do when you don't have a whole lot. And I think why this moved to number 1 is because it's real. It just has a lot that we could learn from. So, and get over differences and help each other.
Yeah.
So.
And I think this was one of the last books you read in 2025. So I think one of your struggles this morning was that you were kind of concerned with recency bias.
Yeah.
It's like, well, Blackwoods Blue Sky, I read months ago. This one I just finished. But so I think that's part of why you decided you were going to decide at the last minute.
And also, it's like, I really want to spread the word on Blackwood Blue Skies. It's just a great book.
It is.
I really want people to read Atmosphere. It was a really good book. But I really, really want people to read The Kitchen Front because it's lots of passion, lots of food, and things you just would never think of. And how you help each other in times of need.
And I'm so excited to read that. And because I'm on a hold list for the audio right now. I can't wait. And I think both of us were delighted that so many people commented on our December wrap-up to say that they were interested in The Kitchen Front.
I know of at least 2 people who are let me know they are reading it and loving it.
Yeah.
So.
Which always feels good. And do you know what we have in common with our number 1 picks? A lesson for everyone in 2026. Don't sleep on staff recommendations in independent bookstores, because we found The Kitchen Front because we were in Spokane and it was on the staff picks, but we were kind of waffling back and forth about whether or not we were going to read it. We ended up buying Joel a cookbook and me a t-shirt and then a gift for a friend, and we figured we couldn't spend any more, so we didn't get it. But then over the next few weeks, you thought about it and you said, I want to read it. And then it became your favorite book of the year.
I would like to buy the book because the book does come with recipes.
Oh, yeah,
and
I would support that.
There's a recipe in the very end on the final challenge that would be so fun to try because can it be done?
Interesting.
This woman did it.
Yeah.
Can I do it?
Yeah.
So
I don't even know what it is, and I'm curious. And also a lesson in why we don't do our best of video until the year is officially over. Because last year, one of the last books, probably the last book that I read in 2025, popped up in my top 10, A Christmas Memory. And this is one of the last books you read in 2025.
Yeah.
So if you do the video early, you might be discounting something.
Yeah.
Getting back to the staff recommendations. It's the same way I discovered They're Going to Love You by Meg Howry. So when we were in New York, I spent a lot of money on books. A lot. Like a lot. My husband is very patient. So we were in the Strand, their Upper West Side location, and this was on a staff recommendation. And I read the card that was attached to it and was like, this sounds like everything I love in a book. But this was at the end of our trip, and I was thinking, I've spent so much money on books. I feel like I can't do it anymore. So I have an app for our local library. I looked, and they had a copy of this book. So I thought, okay, I won't buy it. I'll get it from the library. So we got home, I read it, and I loved it so much, I felt like I had to atone for not buying a copy of the book. So I bought a copy of the book. Now, with that purpose. So again, the lesson is, always pay attention to the staff recommendations in independent bookstores, because that's how both of us ended up finding our favorite book of the year. Can I hand this to you?
Yeah, and I just kind of read through my list real quick, and I would say more than half were staff picks.
Yeah.
It's like Wild Dark Shore, I never would have read. Charlie from Montana Book Company.
Oh, yeah.
I loved it.
And The Correspondent was recommended to me by Ann Patchett. So she owns a bookstore. It was in the Laydown Diaries. She had blurbed the cover. So at least that one. And I can't remember where I found out about some of the other ones. Okay, so here's what I wrote down about They're Going to Love You. A woman gets a call that her estranged father is dying. On her surprising to her and reluctant trip to New York City to say goodbye, she recalls her childhood with her father, a gay and legendary ballet choreographer, her desire to follow in his footsteps, and her mother's, because her mother was a very skilled ballet dancer in her time, and how they became estranged. She also muses on her dance career, art as a constant quest for perfection, and the pain of falling short. All of which are incredibly fascinating. What I liked, this book takes a lot of skill to pull off. Kind of like what I was saying with Signal Fires. There's a lot going on in this book. The plot has so many balls in the air, and Meg Howry manages to deftly catch every single one of them and just like gently put them down on the ground. It has incredible things to say about family, betrayal, forgiveness, art, and it features gloriously messy, complex characters that I know I'll think about forever. And interestingly, a lot of books on my list have characters who are trying to reconcile their relationship with their father. I wonder why that could be. But yeah, so that's a quiet theme. But I think we both also have themes about like family and
family, chosen family, helping each other, forgiveness,
empathy for other people. Yeah, understanding for other people. So I think we definitely have some through lines in our best of list. So Meg Howry, just like Andrew Porter, just like Danny Shapiro, is another author that I cannot wait to read more of her books. There's a gaping hole on my bookshelf where this one is usually faced out. It's sandwiched by two of Meg Howry's other books that I cannot wait to catch up to. So all in all, really not a bad reading year.
I've had a really good year.
Yeah.
Was there anything that didn't make your top 10 that you think was a fun book or something that did trigger something in you?
Yes, there were, but I would need my phone to remember. I will say, I'll do a separate video about, I didn't do a book about books I wish more people would, or video about more books I wish more people would discover this year, because I'm going to sort of fold it into, I'm rethinking the way I do my almost best. So I'm going to talk about books that didn't make my cut, but which I would still highly recommend. I'll give you one of them right now, Tartufo by Kira Jane Bennett. Is that her name?
Yeah, I think so.
Something like that. Don't judge me because I'm doing this by memory. Wonderful book. Lots of fun. and absolutely fascinating. So I would say that's a book that I would shout out.
Kira Jane Buxton.
Okay, there
And
we
there's
go.
number 14 on my list, so it's up there.
Yeah, it's up there for me.
It was a fun book.
It was very interesting. So,
Crazy, but interesting.
do you want me to join me for that video where we
could
talk
I?
about? You can,
I would
of
love to.
course.
I would love
And
that.
are you going to join me? So I'm going to do worst books in a Friday Reads. Do you want to join me for that?
Sure.
Okay. So there you go. You're going to get more Joel. You're going to get more books.
More Teddy.
More Teddy,
Well, you always
who
get
is
Teddy.
passed out asleep
out.
right now.
And I feel bad putting anything in worst books because maybe they're just not the worst book. They're just not for me. Or I was not in the mood. So we'll
Yes,
talk
that's
about
fair.
that.
And we'll talk about the books that were DNF'd this year. I had 1, you had 3.
I had 3.
So we'll talk about that too. So lots more to come.
Yeah.
We'll talk about, I'll also do a video with my most anticipated books of 2026, at least so far. Wishing everybody a happy reading year. I had a good, happy reading year in 2025, for sure.
We've actually had a
And
good year. so-
Cheers. Happy New Year. All right, and then anything else before we wrap up?
I don't believe so. I just wish everybody a very happy 2026.
Yes. And
Read, help others,
yeah.
and just take care of each other.
Yeah, I have a Life is Good shirt that I wore throughout Christmas because it has a Christmas tree. And it says, believe there is good, but some of the letters are highlighted so it actually also says be the good. And I was thinking about this. I feel like that's going to be my motto for 2026. So I like
That's a
that.
good one.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe mine will just be kind, which
I like
I'm really learning how to do when I get angry. So
It's hard.
Just be kind and understand we all are different and just we all have our opinions and we all are entitled to our opinions.
Yeah.
Mine's usually right, but just be there.
It's really hard because the world is on fire. There's a lot of division. So we just need to try to remain calm, understand, but not compromise, and push for good in the world. That's our message for 2026. And more hot dogs for Teddy.
Let us know what some of your
Yeah.
best reads are down below in the comments.
Please.
Let us know what you want to do in 2026. And I think in 2026, we're going to try to do some different things.
On the channel?
Yeah.
Yes.
We're,
We are.
we're playing with them.
So stay tuned for a lot of exciting things this year. But anyway, in the meantime, as always, we really appreciate your time. Thank you for a great 2025. Here's hoping we all have a great 2026. Until then, happy reading.
Happy baking.